So we're going to talk about the doors. And I was just saying that when you come up to doors and you're doing your show doors or doors on this job, you have the flat edge band doors are the ones that are up here. And if you're always doing shaker doors, that's your go-to door, you can move this up. Sorry, you have to use your flat one panel shaker. Here you go. You can put this one up if you wanted to. Okay, as your, baseline, if that's what you always use. But then I do want to make sure that you're putting this down here, that when you're cycling through your doors, that you have that option. So what I want to show you then is of those choices. So you have my screen is my screen might be slow. I'm sorry, today is a kind of a challenging situation. Okay, yeah, it's a slow screen today. But I've got, when you cycle through, you're going to see the different drawer faces, and you're basically going through those 9 choices plus the blank. Okay, so that's what you're going to see here. Now, when you choose a door face to as a kind of what you're showing your client, the specific one that you choose should be close to what you are showing. So the big difference on your doors versus your drawers is you'll notice on this one the style across the bottom for the shaker is less than the drawer face. I'm sorry, the door. So the door has the on the shaker style, the door has a bigger style than on the bottom. So you'll notice that's a subtle difference in how they make their drawers versus the doors. But what you're showing for your client is close to the style. So if you have a raised panel door, select something that looks like a raised panel. If you have the shakers, select something that looks like the shaker. And then for your doors again, for your melamine, you do need to, or any of your flat edge band, it does need to be the FLAT. It can't be one of the other ones. For the insert, for the framed melamine door, you need to have it be flat glass. So that's why I set up these here. So to kind of review, in the picture of what you see, the door style only matters, like what you see here, only matters on your flat edge band doors, your flat CF mirror door. So this is the melamine door with the mirror applied to it, or basically sorry, I want to make sure I've got the chat open so I can see what you guys are saying. So the frameless mirror door and the clear acrylic. So we don't have a glass door because there is a choice for mirror and glass, and we don't want to use these. We only want to use the ones from the CFLA for those specialty doors. Okay, so hopefully that's clear to you. So I'm going to make these the same. So now you know what you're cycling through when you're cycling through those. So then when we talk about the reveals, when I open up this unit, and you'll see, so we call them overlays, like a full overlay door or a standard overlay door. We all, in KCD, they call it the reveal. So the left and the right side reveal is what we're talking about here. And if I look at this unit, my left side is 0 on the drawers, and the right side does have a panel. So if I just do my standard drawers, standard overlay, the right side is going to be 7/16, and it's a positive number. And my left side is a negative number. The reason why it's negative is because it needs to reach beyond where the panel was and over onto the other unit. So how I always think about it is if my panel is 0, then the reveal on that side needs to be a negative. And if you put in -7, it will correct it to -5. Okay, so if you just remember 7/16 for your standard, for full overlay, you do 9 because it needs to reach over a little bit more. And then this is 3. Okay. I'm losing everybody. Anyway, I can't tell what's going on. Anyway, when you guys log on, if I don't always see everybody's name, so if you could just type your name in when you join, so I know who's on, that would be great. I've got so far Lynn and Dion and someone Closet Factory Corporate Office, so that would be awesome if you could let me know who that is. Anyway, where was I? So that's how I always think of it. If you need to reach over, if you have a 0 panel, then you need to reach beyond it, and that's when you're using the negative number. Now, if I were to put a door on this unit, so let's do that. It doesn't matter the door style. So if I were to have this door here, I have now a problem, and you can see here that the overlays are not right on my doors. So they're crossing over each other here, and I will zoom in so you can see that. So they're overlapping the doors because I can't have 2 full overlay doors on the same shared panel. So I need to do a correction here. So on this one, I'm going to put it back to standard. And I go down to my reveals. So it's the left reveal. And I'm going to make sure that that is -3. And I'm sorry, -5. And then the right reveal is back to the 7. And that's the positive number because there's a panel there. And then I come over to the other unit and I make sure that both of those are the 7/16 because this unit has panels, okay, on both sides. So just the standard one is fine. Now, if I wanted to do a full overlay, I would do one side as, so where the panel is, I would make it the 9. But the other, I would leave the standard. Wait a minute, it's -9, so it's 3. Sorry, I need to make it 3/16. Negative is the, you'll get used to it. And let me show you what I have a cheat sheet for you. So the left reveal is going to be 3. Okay, so then now I have my reveals. And if we zoom in here, you can see that the doors are no longer overlapping on that panel. Okay. Closet Factory Corporate Office, who are you? Can you say your name, please?
It's not corporate office, it's Kay.
Is Kay? Okay. All right, great. Thanks. I just wanted to know who it was because it just says Closet Factory Corporate Office. I appreciate that.
Well, I'm not corporate
All right.
office.
I'm gonna mute you for right now. If you have any comments or questions or problems, let me know by chatting. Okay.
Yeah, I can't. My audio on the computer is not working, so I had to call in.
I can barely hear you, so you must be having audio problems.
Yeah, the audio on the computer is not working, so I had to call in.
Okay, yeah, so you should call in. You called into the number?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can hear now?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm going to mute you for now. If you have any comments or questions, type into the chat.
Okay.
Thanks. Okay, good. All right. So So that's what you're doing with your overlays. Now, everybody had in the download from 7.0, if you go into your file folders and you look in your KCD folder, there is a Closet Factory Designer KCD training tools. And if you look in here, there is a KCD door overlay guide. And we've had this before, so I'm showing you again where it is. And this is a guide that's going to show you your standard overlays, your if you want to do a full overlay, if it's side by side on the same panel. So you'll be using that. You can print that out and just have that as a cheat sheet. Okay. Sorry, you guys, I'm doing this in the back of my car. so, so hopefully it's close to what we wanted. Anyway, so I have the doors now set up properly, and I can do that too. If I add a door here, let's see, control. Oh, sorry, I forgot I got rid of a drawer. So let's put an insert in here. Let's put this drawer back. Okay, and then I want to make sure I have a handle here. Okay, now as far as those goes with hinges and doors, if you ever have any question about how you put a hinge on or a door on, just click on one of these and it will describe what you need to do. So for handle placement, you need to hit the shift key and then left mouse click, okay? And it just kind of tells you that. So that's a reminder on how to do that, and also your hinges. And it's good practice to have the hinges on the doors. Where the hinge is where the point of the dotted lines goes. And that's nice because if you remove your doors, you can see that, oh, I really do have a door on there. But if I wanted to remove the door and not even have a door on there, then the hinge lines go away. So that's kind of nice to have as a reminder of where your hinges are and where you have doors if you take them off to look behind. So now when we do our, so now we have the everything set up here. We're going to do the selection of the materials. We go to change set unit info. And so what we, oh my gosh, sorry. My go-to meeting is always, if I move my go-to meeting, it shuts it down. So I'm sorry about that. It's kind of a pain. Okay. Anyway, so now I can see. Okay, so we need to make sure that you're using the unit info type of the CFLA materials with CT, and that's for with countertop. Okay, so we've now added countertops to the choice of materials that we're doing here. This lets us do a different countertop in each room. So you still see the familiar choices here, but now we're doing it from the set unit info. Okay, so on this job, white melamine flat edge band doors, let's do something a little bit nicer. Let's do the Adobe paint grade. Adobe paint grade. And I'm not going to worry about that right now. It doesn't need to be perfect. No backing in the job. The drawers, we're just going to do the standard drawers. Handles, I'm going to go ahead and do client supplied handles, and my door finishing is going to be wood painted. And my insert is going to be, because I have a wood door, I'm going to do the glass. So any door that's shown on the drawing that has an insert is now going to have the glass applied to it. So I'm going to go ahead and set that. And you'll see here, when you open it up, you have something down here. The first time you open this up, it's not actually set as anything. It's just a placeholder. It doesn't really set anything until you hit the word set. And even if you kept everything the same and hit set, that's when it starts to remember it and match it with, or keep it with KCD and pass it forward. So now as I send this into the factory, if anybody opens it up, these choices are going to populate here. And when I run any report, it's going to use this information. So this is just a way to set it up. But down here is what's really going forward to the factory. Okay. So now I have all of that information. These different choices. So like I've said before, okay, what you see in the drawing, if I, let me just show you. I'm going to go ahead and put this one back to just the flat door. Okay, so this is not something we would do, but just to show you, my set unit info on unit number 2 says Adobe Paint Grade Door. Okay, so when I run my unit info price, I am going to see unit number 2, and we'll look at what that door is. Now, the unit price review is standard pricing. So if you put a 0 discount or a 10% discount, it's not going to impact the numbers at all. It's always standard pricing, and that's why that's a report we'll be turning in. So if I look at unit number 2, the door is coming up as an Adobe door paint grade, so painted. So that, what you see on the drawing with a standard kind of door, doesn't matter because we're selecting the type of door from the set unit info. Okay, so that's how we're doing it right now. That's how it's been set up in KCD. But you see here, the door down here has the clear glass in it because that was the door that we selected for that. Okay, so that's what we have there. So what we're looking for when we look at the set unit info as far as the doors and drawers go would be that you have the door style that you wanted and the finish that you wanted. And any of the doors that had the clear glass had that in there. You'll have the door or a drawer front will show as well. So if you have a melamine, standard melamine drawer box with a melamine face, matching face, you're not going to see the drawer face because that's included in the drawer box, right? So that's the difference there. Now, you'll see here I have a none. That means I didn't select something right. So these are my shoe shelves, so I have to go back and select that. And the other thing I always check for is zeros, that the kick was 0, so that's expected. My kicks are 0, so that's what I have right now. Here I have an option to cut to fit, so that means I've selected that option already, and that's a 0 price, so that's expected. So the only thing I need to check right now is my shoe shelf toe stops. So I'm going to go into the drawing here. Here's my shoe shelves, and shoe shelf toe stops used to be in the set unit information, but now they're in the options. So we're going to come down here, and I'm going to select the matching melamine toe stops for that unit. I didn't pre-select anything for any of these units because there's so many different options and choices, and I just thought, get in the habit of doing that, and it does call it out if you forget it. So let's go and do now you'll notice that I'm always selecting all countertops. I've made this a habit of mine, whether I have a countertop or not. If you have a countertop and you do not select this, it's going to come up as no countertop. So you want to make sure that you always select that. So we'll run it again. We'll see that everything is in place. So that's why I always say, look at the unit price review, whether you look at the numbers, whether these are right, you kind of get you guys know the standard pricing, for certain things, so you know whether that's right. sometimes if a client is looking over my shoulder, I don't go all the way down. If I don't want them to see what the total might be, to have a number in their head, I just do it really quickly to make sure that, the right words are popping up, that I'm seeing, white melamine adobe doors, toe stops, matching material. So now I have this in here, and you can see I have an option that this is telling me that I selected the option of toe stop matching melamine, and now I see it has been priced into the shelf. Okay, so that looks good. When I come down to the bottom of my unit price review, I do have a summary of the handles, crown, and top. Now it's the same here because there's just the one closet, but if there are 3 closets in this job, the information under subtotal for the countertops, handles, and knobs, and also crown when it shows up, is a summary of the full job. So this breaks it down, and you can see here that we have the handles counted out as well. Okay. So what we would do with this is what, let's say this is the job as it's been sold. This is my standard pricing. I'm going to come over here. I always like to double check that I'm not going to print it out at home. And then I would save it as a PDF. Now I like to do a preview because I can see here that I didn't do the client information. So I need to do that. So I'll just jump out real quick and do that. So that is Control N, and I always think of name. You can also do file and then job heading, get you the same information. And this is Anna, K-I-M, I think. So you do the client name, the job address, and then you want the day that so you're basically doing a design date. And today is the 11th. Now, if there are revisions, then you would have the revision date down here. So after it's turned in and signed, this is the date that you're giving it to the client and they're signing it. And then this is the revision date. So you would put that down here. Okay. So now I run the report, and, your best, just one more best practice. Do your renumber all units. And if you had other versions of your closet and you deleted it and you've added things and everything, if you do that renumbering, then you're going to have a cleaner reports to turn in. Okay. So it'll number 1 through however many units you have in your job, as opposed to starting at number 23 or something. So that's a nice clean way of doing it. So I'll run this report, and then I'm going to have to I'll open up the GoToMeeting so I can see if there's anything going on here. Okay, so it looks good. I've got everything in here. The number is the same as before. I'm going to go ahead and do my preview now, and I have the client information in here. So now when I do a PDF, I'm going to have my information, the client's information. So when I send it to the factory, they're going to know, who it's related to. So then I would save this. Let me see, we will do this as Anna unit price review summary. Okay. All right. So now that I have that, great, and I can send that into the factory. So the next thing I want you guys to know that you can use, for those of you who do client handles, you now will have a report that is client supplied handles. So run this report, and as long as you show the handles on the job and it has that count of handles or knobs, just run this report, and it's going to prepare that sheet for you that you can attach to EverSign and get to your client. and have them sign it. So it has the room name. So if it had 3 rooms where they were supplying everything, it would list those as well, and then it has the count. So this is an easier way for you to do it. On this form, you can write the date right here, say the 31st, 2019, and then if you want to write their name here too. Because of the way it edits, I like to do it this way. Anna. Okay. And then you can do a preview on this one. And then when you load it into EverSign, you'll just have the client signature and date put in there on EverSign. Okay. So we'll save this one. Okay. So that's something that then I can put into EverSign when we're ready to do that. So we've got the room report. Now, the power of the KCD, you know, the door style is not necessarily set by what we choose right now in the look. So if I wanted to, I could copy this room and then I could paste the room. So I have a second version of it. Okay. So it's the exact same room. I would name it something better, but in the well, yeah, let me just do that. So, good practice. So this is upgraded options. Okay. So if they wanted to do a different style, let's say they wanted to do well, let's make it the mirror door. So they want to have a mirror door here, and they wanted to try a different style of door. So let's go to the set unit info, and we're going to do the by room now. So I have 2 rooms here. So I'm going to do my upgraded option room, and I'm going to choose, let's make it cobblestone. I don't know if any of these make sense. We're going to do the Fiesta Cherry, and we're going to stain that. Insert is going to be clear glass. So the reason why I'm choosing glass is because that one door above the drawers has a glass insert in it. The mirror door is kind of separate now because that's a specific one that we specialized. It's a specialty door. Okay, everything looks good. I'm going to do handles, keep those client supplied. Okay, so it looks like I've got everything here. Make sure that I'm only on my upgraded, and I'm going to do set. Now you can see my Anna's Closet stayed the Adobe, and my new one now is the Fiesta Cherry. Okay, so I'm going to close that, and I'm going to run my pricing. I'm going to do a room by room report. I want to do just the room by room report, no total. I'm going to show you how the discounts would work if you want to use that tool. The no total is because they're the same room, 2 different styles. So that's why I'm doing the room by room report. And then we're going to have basically the same room with 2 different finishes kind of selected so they can compare. So you'll see here it says the Adobe Paint Grade, and then down here it says the Fiesta Cherry, and you can see that there is a price difference. The discount is shown per room. So if you do select that here, it's going to show the client per room what the discounts are. And then there's always that job processing fee, so they can remember that they will have to pay that. But that's how you would basically do a comparison of two different door styles or colors or something like that. So it's all listed there. The options are here as well. And I don't have any, let me see, I don't have any accessories, but those are always going to be listed above the additional fees. They'll be listed by room. Okay. And at a subsequent, the next session, we'll talk about accessories and options and things like that in more detail. So that's how you would do a comparison. So that's kind of the power of that set unit info and what you can do with that. So let me see. Lynn, you had a question under countertop pricing. Why do we use all? Did I explain that okay? The reason why we're using all again is because we are, let me open it up. Sorry, I have to move GoToMeeting. So change set unit info. You're doing the selection here. And the reason why, so you're selecting it here. The reason why we have to select that all still is because of the logic that KCD has with how they do their countertops. So they don't look at countertops until the very end. So they go through and they price the panels, the shelves, everything else, and then it goes through everything again and it says, does it have a countertop? Yes. Let me price it. And it does that for everything. And it's kind of, I don't think it's the best, but it's how it's set up, and it's just, kind of beyond me to take the time to change it. So that's how it is right now. So what's going to happen though, let me just close this. What's going to happen as soon as you guys are done with your jobs that are dealing with 6.2, we'll be able to get rid of all of these countertop pricing options that you have here, and we'll just be having the all CF countertops. So it'll be right at the top, and you'll be able to just click it and get the ones that you want. So as soon as you are at a place where all your jobs moving forward are in 7.0, then we'll be able to clean this up. Now, something that you guys, I'm not sure you realize this. Sorry, I have to touch my GoToMeeting. You'll notice that everything I've drawn out of is the Closet Factory Headquarters library. And that's because of the changes that we made in this library. We want to put a stake in the ground moving forward. So all of your jobs, moving forward, pick a job to start on and start using this library. There's a couple of additions to it, so check it out, look down and see through here. Probably the bigger ones are, God, I have to touch it again, sorry. Seems like my GoToMeeting panel is always right where I need to be. Anyway, so oh, please cancel, close. Okay. So we have in here, let me see, I have a continuous top shelf now, acrylic cubby. There are, when you pick a belt rack or a tie rack, you're going to pick a finish as well. And then we have the pre-designed jewelry drawer. So you have a velvet liner. So you're actually dragging these over into the closet. You have your custom and your different styles. So you'll select one of those and put it in. And then, same with your pre-designed. And then it will price it and also pull it out as an accessory. So those are some of the big changes there. And then, of course, you all should have your tag libraries in there that you'll be taking from, which has all that information as well. So we're trying to kind of align with that thinking, so the factory can run a report and know what your accessories are, and the chances of them making a mistake are reduced. Okay, so that's why we're doing that.